All right.
Zach, if you want to go ahead and start getting those to your social media pages and whatnot,
Yep.
retweeting and all that crap.
Yep.
Let me make sure it's showing up on my Twitter page. Let's make sure here. Yep, we're live there, so you can quote retweet my post.
All right. Awesome. So you're live on Titos&Chicken's Facebook page.
I believe so. If it's not, it's live on my actual page, my
Actual
Facebook
page. Okay.
personal
Gotcha.
page.
I got
So
you, Evan. All right. No problem.
let me make sure we're straight. Yeah, it's
Yep.
definitely showing up. Okay.
There you are. Okay.
Yeah, just let me know when you're ready, and we'll go ahead and get started.
All right, man. Yeah. While I'm getting this stuff out, man, let's go ahead
Yeah,
and run it.
no, you're good. Take your time. Take your time. Social media.
Yeah. I know.
So, yeah, seriously. Okay. Oh, I got it on. So that's you on Facebook too? Okay, perfect.
Yep. That's me
Well, guys,
there.
while he's doing that, welcome back to episode 97 of Titos&Chicken, your unofficial South Carolina Gamecocks podcast. Coming at you with a low country state of mind. I got Zach here with me, but he's a little occupied getting the show on his social media pages. Zach, how you doing, big dog?
Man, I'm great. It's
Good.
it's a beautiful day. Just things are getting a little wild right now for Gamecock recruiting, which we're gonna obviously talk about.
Yeah.
And what a way to bring in the fourth, man. What are you doing for the fourth? What are you doing to get it
Uh,
ready?
man, I'm not doing nothing too crazy. I got the smoker going outside. Got two Boston butts on there. I got some chicken drumsticks. Just chilling at the house. I may walk down to the pool here shortly. You know, nothing crazy.
Nothing too
So
wild.
no, nothing too wild. Nah, few beers, call it a day.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. That's about how I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Obviously, still be in a quarantine status.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
got to talk about that one, man. Ah,
yeah.
I'm so
COVID's not
glad you're
fun.
on the end of it.
Yeah, no, that's the beautiful thing about it. Because if you would
Yeah,
have this been this time last week, this
no,
thing might not be happening right now, or maybe on the deathbed. But
yeah,
no, drinking a couple beers, man, enjoying it. Always love having the fourth off. That's one of the things in my business that they do allow me to have off.
yeah.
So I do enjoy it.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Um, like Zach said, excuse me. Happy Fourth, everyone. Hope y'all are having a fun weekend. Some plans. Maybe some of y'all are on the water right now watching us live. I don't know, but that would be cool if you
Hey,
are. That would be cool. But guys, we got 62 days till kickoff here. Zach, I know you're excited. I know
man,
you're ready to go.
I'm stoked, man. I run that
Yeah.
countdown. Ever since when I was with Visor, I used to run the countdown there too. So always got that day in my head. So somebody's like, "How many days are we till Gamecock, football?" I'm like, "Man, we're at 62 days," and I spit it out
Yep.
like that. Like, how did you know
Yep.
that? I said, "Well, funny story, but no,
Yeah.
man, I'm
Yeah.
stoked, man. I'm stoked."
We're getting there. We're getting there. So you want to talk a little bit about your new handle, famously Garnet,
Yeah,
by the
man. I
way?
mean, it's a new venture for me. For those who don't know, or maybe you've heard my voice before, and it's like, hey, that's a familiar voice.
Yeah.
I did used to do a lot with Visor Sports. Used to be the content creator over there. Did the podcast over there with Arthur Williams, and now I'm doing my own thing here with Famously Garnet. I kind of took the two. How Columbia, South Carolina slogan is famously hot. Well, I took
Right.
Garnet, the Garnet Black, and I said
Yeah.
famously Garnet. So
I like it.
went
I
with
like
that,
it.
and I think it's been a pretty good name. People said they
Yeah.
like the name so far.
Oh, I
So
dig it. I dig it. 100%. It took me a little while to understand that was you. I remember you followed me.
yeah,
I sat there and I was like, "Oh God, who is this now?" There's
another
another Twitter handle,
yeah.
or podcast Twitter handle, and then you and I were talking one evening, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's Zach." I did not know that.
Yeah.
So, guys, obviously, please follow him on Twitter, Facebook. He's posting nonstop. I love it. Definitely one of my favorite follows. So yeah, just look him up, guys. He's there. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. Obviously,
Of
we
course.
we have a lot of fun, man. We've done lives before. We met at multiple tailgates. I mean, we have a great time when we all hang out.
Yeah,
And that's the way, with my page too, is just when I'm gonna run things, no drama, drama free, always having fun, enjoying life. I mean, that's the way it's got to be, man. Life is short, and I don't care if you got a billion South Carolina pages out there. We all do something different, and we all have fun
that's
doing
true.
it. You know what I
We
mean? This
I
isn't a
like that.
competition; it's all love. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's been great.
I hear that, man. I hear that. Guys, mainly why we're doing this episode today is, I mean, have y'all seen this weekend? The recruiting buzz that's been going on. I mean, it not even just the weekend. Through the week, last weekend, the cookout. It's been a lot. There's been a lot of positive buzz around South Carolina, like there really has. South
Hmm.
Carolina football, excuse me. Um, Landing, I would say one of the biggest get of this class so far, the 2023 class. Grayson Howard, linebacker. Zach, what's your thoughts on him? On getting him?
And getting Grayson Howard, man, was awesome. It really seems like it was South Carolina's really battle to really lose at that point because South
Yeah,
Carolina they beat been us up on South Carolina for quite a while, but just to even land the kid, I mean, hell of a football mind, very intelligent kid. And I hope if you haven't seen it, I know you've seen it, but if anybody hadn't seen the commitment video, please watch it. It was very well done, and I'm sure
yeah,
my guy over there, Justin King, probably had a hand in that.
yeah. Of course.
But it was an awesome commitment video. But no, I mean, Pup is a absolute monster. His
Yeah.
film is just ridiculous, and I am stoked about getting him at Carolina.
Can you compare him to any other South Carolina backer that we've had, or does he have his own skill set?
I feel like he's got really his own skill set. I mean, there's a couple
Okay.
guys that might come to mind. Maybe I mean, it almost. I'm not really trying to kind of put the two together, but Sky Moore, it's
I
almost
was
like
literally
landing
about
a
to
guy
just say
like
that.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
It's a
Nice.
big name, and he's very good at football. And to get another big name out of Florida, look,
Yeah.
the staff is, and Florida is such a big state to get
It's
in
a
there with.
hotbed too for recruits, man.
Massive.
It's just like those kids down there are just a different breed. I feel.
Yes.
You
I
know.
mean, if you look back at the kids that came out of Florida for South Carolina that, South Carolina recruited, whether it be under Spurrier, Muschamp, I mean, even take it back to Lou Holtz. I mean, you have just some dogs that have come out of Florida. So,
Yeah.
for South Carolina to be able to get in there and do what they need to do, I mean, that shows a lot. And, you do it at the right time. You do it while Billy Napier does not have his feet set at Florida. While it seems almost like the sky right now is falling at
Yeah.
Florida.
They just lost an offensive lineman, didn't
They
they?
did. They
Yeah.
did, and they're gonna lose more. And Webb, I will talk about later on. If Florida doesn't land Webb, there's going to be massive problems in that Gator Nation.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I just saw that the other day with the whole Napier thing down at Florida, losing the offensive tackle to Florida State.
Hmm.
Not just losing him, but losing him to Florida State.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
just it's wild. Like it's wild.
it is. It is.
So like we said, we're both happy with Grayson. A recent commit yesterday, Dontavius Braswell, 4-star running back. Your thoughts on him? That's another big name out of Georgia. Well, he's out of Georgia, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I mean, but Braswell is a hell of a running back. The thing about Braswell is that between Webb and Braswell, has the higher ceiling. He's the better of the two, in my opinion, and in most opinions as well. And I got to tell you though, going into last week, it was kind of, we kind of heard that South Carolina got their guy, and to me, I was like, okay, well, their guy seemed to be Webb. Webb has been on
yeah,
campus, seems a little bit more, and it seemed like there's just been more attention towards Webb. Well, I was told that South Carolina got their guy. I said, okay, so I'm thinking
yeah.
Webb. Yeah, I'm thinking Webb, and then
Okay.
Braswell drops his top four out: Oregon, Alabama, I think Boston College, and then Nebraska. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. South Carolina's going to land Webb. Well, it was the night before last that I believe the guys on 247 in Nebraska's world were saying that, hang on, South Carolina seems to have gotten them.
Wow.
Which I was like, I was like, I didn't think that because
So
like I
it's
said,
kind of like a come out of left field type of thing, you
oh,
would say.
big time. I
Yeah.
mean, big
Yeah.
time. And,
I didn't see it either.
no,
100% didn't see
no.
it.
So, a lot of people have been, fans, me included a little bit, have been kind of hard on Monterio Hardesty because he hasn't landed, the
Right.
guy. He hasn't gotten his guy yet. So for Mo Hardesty to be able to land his guy, to go the distance, never give up, got to give him credit, man. Got to give that
Yeah.
staff credit for landing Braswell.
100%. But like I mentioned, I didn't see this coming
No.
at all. Grayson, I kind of saw,
Mhm.
but Braswell, no, not really. But hey, we will take him.
Hey, that's
We're
right.
sitting here talking about a stacked quarterback room. Look at the damn running back room.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
So
It absolutely is. It's just this staff continues to flip these rooms and they're doing it quick.
yeah,
It's not like they're just sitting on this and you get a recruit here, a commit here and there, and you're starting to get a little better.
yeah,
South Carolina staff has continued to flip these rooms, whether you look at way they utilize the transfer portal, the wide receiver room, Antoine Wells, Corey Rucker. I mean, they are doing these massive moves.
yeah.
And it's you look at it, it's like that's awesome.
No, it is. I mean, think where we were. What, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years ago. I mean, it was rough, man. Like it was rough. I mean, we there was talent, but it was like in pockets on the
Yeah.
team. It's just like now there's just talent all around. I mean,
Mhm.
well, how can I say this? Not developing talent, but we're bringing in talent. There you go.
Mhm.
It's a better way of putting it.
Mhm.
What do you think about the overall class so far?
Oh, I'm
I mean,
stoked.
we're 33rd in the country right now. I don't know
Yeah.
what we are necessarily in the SEC, but 33rd, still obviously not done, far from done.
Mhm.
What do you think of these guys?
I say what you got right now in South Carolina is very positive, and a lot of these kids, some of them are just they're underrated as well. And I hate to sound like a typical fan saying they're underrated, but a lot of these guys they are.
Yeah. Okay.
You look at previous classes, and you had a lot of underrated guys because a lot of these guys don't go to camps like they're supposed to, or not that they're supposed to, but they can't get to camps.
Yeah.
They don't have the money to do this, the money to do that. So I feel confident. And the thing about this class right now is that there are so many silents still here, so many puzzle pieces that are being put together
Yeah.
by this staff that, I mean, right now, let's say maybe these silents have committed to this point. I'm thinking it's between top 15 to top 25, somewhere in there. So there are so many kids that have yet to commit to South Carolina that are big names. I mean, right now, Jaden Robinson, that's a big one out of Florida. And actually, he was just offered by the Florida Gators. Well,
Of
that's gonna
course.
be too little too late for Billy Napier. But
Yeah.
you get him in the fold. Let's say Xavier Hardy, if there's some stories about things going on with him. If he commits to
Yeah.
South Carolina, you get a big jump with him. Monty Grimes from Sumter, right out Sumter, South Carolina. That's another big one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some other names also that South Carolina's in play for. Wide receiver, Great House from Texas, seems to be a player there. Maybe Aiden Williams. I mean, there's some names out there
There's
that,
some names.
yeah, there is. And
Yeah.
the offensive lineman from, I believe, was DeMatha. Olo, man, I'm not gonna just kill his name
No,
here.
don't worry. I butcher names all the time.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Olutu, I'm gonna call it Tosin.
Okay, there you
Yeah, the offensive
go.
lineman, the four-star guy. He just set a commitment date, I believe, for July 31st.
Okay.
So he seems to South Carolina seems to be in a good position for him. So let's just see where we're at.
Yeah.
But right now, where this class is promising, but where it's going, that's where people are going
Yeah.
to be excited about.
Can understand that. Can understand that. One player you didn't mention, Bradley.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on Bradley? Obviously, guys, that's the 5-star defensive end. We are in the mix for him still.
So
Okay,
Bradley's a
I feel
monster.
like you got something to say on this one. Go ahead.
Yeah,
What,
yeah. I mean,
what you got
Bradley's
to
an
say?
absolute monster out there from Plant City, Missouri.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's an absolute beast. I think when it's all said and done, the recruitment's probably going to come down to Tennessee and South Carolina on this one.
Okay.
A&M is in the top three, but with everything going on at A&M, I don't think they're going to have what it takes to land Bradley
To
at
pull
this
him.
point.
Gotcha.
Just too much things going on that Jimbo needs to worry about right now, and I think that could stall his recruitment over on that side of things. So
Okay.
it's going to come down to Tennessee and South Carolina, but I think it's one of those that it's going to be either early national signing day or a late signing day for Bradley. But the kid is an absolute monster. And another name I brought up either that South Carolina is somehow in it with them is Nicholas Harbor, another just absolute athlete, monster,
Yeah.
beast. He's probably one of the best players out there in the country, and he's just a just you get him at South Carolina, and that's an absolute difference maker. I mean, I'm talking
Probably
about
starting day one or could
oh,
start day one.
by far, by far. I
Wow.
mean, his speed alone is
Yeah.
something that has not been seen off of an edge like Clowney.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
and I
Okay.
hate to throw Clowney's name out there because obviously we know Clowney and everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Good point.
but but the thing about it is it's just exciting because being able to be in this guy's top team still, being in the conversation after year one with Shane Beamer, that's two 5-star guys.
Year
That's
one.
two
Listen, what
5-star
you
guys.
just said. Year one.
Year one.
That's it's
And fans,
crazy. Just
it
even thinking about that.
exactly. That's the
You know.
thing, man. Like fans we got to relax a little bit. And I always said, and I said on many podcasts prior, give Beamer time. And maybe, just maybe, it might not take him the amount of time that it took Spurrier to get these big guys.
Yeah.
You know, the NIL has changed a lot. You know, it's
One hundred
changed
percent.
everything in college football.
Yeah.
So, you know, Spurrier not having that to use back in the day. So,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Is there I mean, obviously this class is not finished. Uh is there a person, or excuse me, a recruit in this class so far that stands out to you? Maybe like a good word you said earlier, underrated. You know, someone you're just like, wow, like this guy, you know, three stars, but I think he's gonna shine, you know, or who do you like so far out of this class?
Well, I tell you, I think my guy, when you bring somebody like that, and even though he's a 4-star Braswell, I think Braswell's that good.
Okay.
I think he's that powerful. Now I will say this too. Now a name that I haven't mentioned yet that I feel like South Carolina will land is the offensive line out of Dorman, Marquis Anderson. I think that is a big name for the 23 class as well. And you keep another local kid home. I mean, that's absolute massive.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's another big name in this class as well. He's a
Okay.
beast, and just to look at what kind of talent that Coach Adkins and Limbo and all them are able to bring in right now, even talk to get them in the top 10. I mean, it's masterful.
Well, offensive line obviously is where I feel is a weak where it's not just me, it's a lot of us who feel
Right.
there's a strong
Right.
weakness there. We haven't been able to really land the high profile linemen, you know. Defensive linemen, yeah. We do very well on the defensive side of the ball, but offensive line, we've been struggling, man. And I
It,
think you know that.
yeah.
Everyone else knows that. So,
It's been a while since you've landed, when you're a top 150 guy out of your higher rankings in offensive line or a top 100 guy. So I mean, I know
yeah,
what you mean.
yeah. So let's see what Atkins can do. Obviously, we've been calling for. Well, I wasn't calling for his job. I was more of a calling for Satterfield's job. But Satterfield, hey, he's been doing well on the recruiting trail, man. I'm not
Yeah.
going to sit here and knock him, you know. But we got to see if this transitions onto the field.
Hmm.
You know, yeah, cool. You can bring in some players, awesome. You know,
Hmm.
but let's see what you're doing play calling wise,
Yeah.
instead of running 3rd and 10, running a draw up the middle or something stupid like that,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the thing about it, Evan, is that half the fans have not forgotten about, or even 3/4 of fans have not forgotten about
Yeah.
how the play calling was last year.
Yeah,
Um,
atrocious.
yeah, it was, and I mean, I guess really that breath of fresh air came against UNC the
Oh,
last game
yeah.
of the season. I don't
When
think,
we threw the kitchen sink at them, literally.
and I
That's
don't
what
think
I call it.
anybody. Yeah, oh, absolutely, and I don't think anybody was expecting that.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
no.
so
I totally agree. I don't think anyone expected that at all, but we got the win. It was a great win for our program, going up against probably where did Sam Howell go in the draft? Did he go first round or
nah, I think Howell
he
went.
slipped?
Yeah, I think he slipped to like the fourth round or something. I
Fourth?
can't
Oh, wow.
remember.
Okay. Well, anyways, North Carolina was a talented team. It's not like we were
Yes.
playing a slouch.
Hmm.
So, yeah, hopefully we can obviously build off of that momentum coming into the season. We'll see though. We'll see.
Hmm.
But want to talk real quick about the quarterback room so far. I sent out a tweet about this last night. Um, wow.
Yeah.
Landing Dante last night, obviously. So I did make a slip up. He is in the 2024 class. Excuse me, guys.
Correct.
I said 2023 last night.
Correct.
Um, but guys, this quarter. When have we ever had this much talent in the quarterback room? And I'm not even including Dante. I'm just talking about Spencer, Tanner, Luke, Braden. It's just and Colton as well.
I mean, I think you'd really have to throw it back to the 2010 season when South Carolina had Connor Shaw and Dylan Thompson committed.
Yeah,
I think that's really the last time you were ever to say this, because when you had Garcia, Shaw, and Thompson, but nothing. I can't think of
it's
anything past that.
it's wild,
It
Zach.
is. It
It's
is.
literally wild. I was just thinking of scenarios, worst case scenarios and best case scenarios. Obviously, Rattler's more than likely going to get the start this year. Who do you think his backup would be? Would you say it would be Luke?
I would definitely say it's Luke to this
Okay.
point. I don't. I feel like Luke has had a rough go of things, and it's not his fault. We just haven't seen a fully healthy Luke Doty, and I'm big on
Yeah.
the Doty train. I am. I know. I know. His dad Bobby, and I'm sure you do as well in Myrtle
Yeah.
Beach. I mean, he's a great guy, and the family's awesome. I just don't think that Luke Doty's had a fair run of things, and I know Luke Doty's better than what we've seen.
100%.
Now after him, my guy, and I think he has the higher ceiling out of who's there right now besides Spencer Rattler, of course. Braden Davis.
Yes.
That's
I'm
my
I'm
guy.
on his train as well, man.
Yes, yes. I mean, I've
Agreed.
talked to his coach his quarterbacks coach multiple times, Bernard Abrams. I mean, he's just an impressive kid, and you saw a little bit of what he could do at a spring game. And I'm not, talking about, oh, hey, get hyped out about a spring game. I'm not, but
Yeah.
be able to see what he's capable of, anything. I mean, it's just he's an impressive kid.
Yeah.
Braden Davis could potentially be the future at South Carolina. Tanner Bailey is also a tremendous name as well. I just don't
Yeah.
know if Tanner's ceiling is higher than Braden. I just don't see
Braden,
it.
yeah. I mean, Braden obviously has the ability to use his feet as well and
Mhm,
throw.
mhm.
I feel like Tanner can move around as well, but I feel like Braden's just a little bit more elusive than
Yes.
Tanner is. So, yeah, the quarterback room, it's insane.
Mhm,
It's very talented. I cannot wait to see the future
mhm.
after Rattler, what direction we go in. Um, the, there was someone brought this up last night, and I kind of thought about it a little bit. Someone said, the thing with Doty, if things don't work out, do you see him coming home and transferring to Coastal? I know it stumped you there. I'm sorry, Zach, but it stumped me as well. I sat there, I was like, wow, like that's not a
Yeah,
bad point.
yeah, I know, man, but I don't. Is Coastal home to him though? You know what I mean? Like when you say coming home, I get going back to Conway
Myrtle
out there in
Beach,
Myrtle
yeah.
Beach and all that. I know that, but would he would he change position at South Carolina? Would he do what he needed to do to maybe football to him? is not his future. Maybe he already knows that. Maybe he feels like that. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing about Luke Doty is that and his family, I mean, they love Carolina. So
Oh,
could he
God.
go to
Yeah.
Coastal? I mean, there's possibility of it.
Yeah.
I would say this. I think it was Aramis Hillary that played at South Carolina. This is years ago, of course. When he transferred to Coastal, I think it was more of like just for a playable situation. I don't know if that's it for Doty or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could it be? Possibly, absolutely. It could be.
Yeah.
Obviously, this being Grace McCall's last year at Coastal as well, that's also a possibility. But
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know if that's
I don't
exactly
know
it.
either. I love Doty. I've done an interview with him on here via Zoom.
Mhm,
Good kid, very good
mhm.
kid. But it's just like his future. We really. I don't think anyone really knows.
Yeah.
I would love to have him stay here, but we just don't know what's going to happen with
No,
the
we don't.
quarterbacks we have in Spencer
Mhm.
Rattler here. So it's a lot.
It is. It is.
But
I feel like the way that quarterback room is right now, there's a lot of camaraderie around it.
yeah,
There's a lot of love, and I feel like if Doty wants to stay at South Carolina, those coaches, the players, they're all going to work together, and the decision is going to be clear for him. So
yeah, one hundred
um,
percent.
it would definitely it would suck to see him leave, no doubt. But I just don't know if that's it for him or not.
Gotcha. I can understand that. Um. Oh yeah. You want to add this GG Jackson news that you talked about with me before the show, real quick?
Yeah, so give Lamont Evans credit, man. He's really Lamont Evans. I did it again. Lamont Paris. Lamont Evans. Don't give that
And
guy
I sat
credit
here
at
and
all.
shook my head like, yeah, Lamont Evans.
Ah, gosh. Lamont Paris, okay, new coach, South Carolina. Give him credit, man. So he's going to all these
Yeah.
tournaments in the out of state areas down in Florida. I actually was just in a tournament with Tanner Bronson, the assistant coach down there in Orlando recently,
Yeah.
and seeing some players down there. But GG Jackson, as you all know, committed to North Carolina. Well,
Yep.
Jamie Shaw posted an article not too long ago saying that there could be a possibility that GG may back off the commitment at North Carolina. Is that going to happen? I don't know. We'll see. But apparently, a player was taken at the same position as GG. So he wasn't too happy about that in North
Yeah.
Carolina. So we'll see how things play out.
How that develops, yeah.
The
But it's
thing
definitely
about it,
something to watch, though,
no,
for
it
sure.
absolutely is. It
Yeah.
absolutely is. Lamont has not given up on GG. I can tell you that. He hadn't given up on the recruitment on GG Jackson or anybody. So he's coming out swinging. He's already offered all these other kids at South Carolina offered. He reoffered them Cam Scott, KJ Green. So GG, of course, when he got there. So it's something to keep an eye on. Is it end all be all that GG is going to decommit to North Carolina? No. But
Yeah.
if that happens, there's going to be a massive effect from that where South Carolina will, gain tremendously off of if GG commits to South
Yep.
Carolina because the buck does not stop there. And I will say that.
I was going to say, I mean, obviously, if he was to commit to South Carolina, there would be a line of players behind him,
Yes.
coming. So,
Yes.
but Zach, dude, thank you so much for joining me on
Yeah,
this
man.
episode. It's been fun. This was
Yeah.
actually a blast.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Um,
was.
sorry, I got to cut it short. I got some food on the smoker I need to tend to.
Hey, man, get
I'm
to
sure
it.
you got some plans with the family, hang out with them and whatnot. So, but damn, thanks for joining me, man. It was a good episode.
Yeah, man. This was a blast.
Yeah, go